Hey folks, welcome. Super quick video today, I hope. I'm talking about basic nutrients and something equally important, which is sequencing and titration. If this is a topic that interests you, please stick around for just a little bit and I'll get right into it. Hey there, welcome. Thanks so much for watching me today. Before I start on the topic of 5 basic nutrients, my name is Michelle. I'm an integrative healing practitioner and author of the Perception Connection Method, which is a guided journaling course that digs deep into the root cause of our health challenges. Any information that I offer today is for informational purposes only, and you should always consult your doctor before making any changes to your diet, supplements, or your lifestyle in general. Okay, so to get right into the basic nutrients, there are 5 of them, and the first one is P5P. P5P is an activated form of vitamin B6. Our bodies, you know that they're overloaded with toxins and medications and garbage. And even though we're ingesting a lot of B6, our bodies can't process it anymore. So we have all of these stores of B6, and many of us are both deficient in B6 and also toxic in it because we can't process it. So taking the activated form, which is called P5P, is how we detox from the buildup while at the same time gaining access to the B6. And this is really important for a lot of different body and functions. But one of the main ones that we're talking about right now is neurotransmitter function. B6, together with zinc, is crucially important for our brain function because it's what we call a cofactor. So we can't produce our own serotonin with inadequate B6. Here there are all of these people on SSRIs for depression, and what no one tells us is that the main building block for us to build our own serotonin naturally is something we can't even process. It's an easy fix. It's super easy. So before you go out and start popping a bunch of P5P, one thing that you have to be aware of is that because we're toxic, we don't want to detox too quickly. You take one of these little capsules. I'm going to show you. I have it right here. This is P5P, the brand that I use. This one's called Pure Encapsulations. There's a couple of different brands. This is 50 milligrams. So this little capsule here, 50 milligrams is too much. I'm going to show you in a second. So what you want to do, you just open it up, pop it open like that, drop a tiny little bit into your water, and that's it for the day, just a sprinkle. The next day, assuming you're fine with the first day, you're going to add a little bit more and you keep increasing it until you're at about half a cap. So that's going to be 25 milligrams, and that's as much as our bodies can absorb. If you want to, you can go ahead and take the whole thing if it's just easier, but it's expensive pee. Because honestly, after 25 milligrams, you'll just pee the rest out. Okay, so starting with a sprinkle and working up, that's called titration. And we do this for every supplement that we take. We start tiny, we see how it makes us feel, we move up a tiny bit more the next day, and then we just keep going like that until we're at the full dose. Titration is what it's called. It's super important. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is sequencing. I'm sorry if your health store lady never ever told you about any of this. It is super important. We want to take each supplement one at a time, especially if you don't know your genetics, you can't predict how you're going to react. Say we trek down to the local health food store or a naturopath and they give us a ton of beautiful supplements and we go home with no instructions and we just take them all. The next day, we're pooping through the eye of a needle, we feel like crap, right? So how do you know which one made you feel that way? And you don't. Sequencing is taking one supplement at a time until you know how it makes you feel. So you start with one. So following that, after we've been on the P5P for 3 or 4 days, we've titrated up to the full dose, 25 milligrams, you're feeling great, time to add the next supplement, and that's going to be zinc. I go with a zinc called zinc picolinate. I don't have it here right now to show you, but I'm going to put the name of it right down here somewhere. I take picolinate because it's the most absorbable. And again, zinc is one of those supplements that can cause some detox symptoms. So do go slowly. Make sure you take it with food. Do not take it with other minerals. So stay away from calcium and iron. And only take 25 milligrams. That's the full dose. So unless you're sick, and then you can bump that up for a couple of days, but don't stay there, okay? So that's zinc picolinate. The third is going to be, the order of these is less important, but generally I say magnesium is next for my clients. I use something called magnesium bisglycinate. I'll show you what that is right here. So bisglycinate, because you're getting in that glycine, you're helping out your glycination detox pathway. We're almost all deficient in magnesium. So dosing on this is going to be very personal. And what we do, what I recommend for my clients, is take it to bowel tolerance. So what that means, you're going to really love this. It basically means that we start with 2 on the first day. Then we work up, adding 1 to each day until you find yourself running to the bathroom. That means you took too much. So if the scoots happen on the second day after you took 4, then your dose is 3. 4 was too much for you. 3 is where you need to be. Does that make sense? If it doesn't make sense, just post below if it's not clear. But the point is the dose is going to be different for everyone, okay? So the next one is vitamin D. I don't have that here either. We always want to try to get as much vitamin D as we can naturally. But we're up here in Canada and we're chronically low in vitamin D. So we want to make sure that we're supplementing, especially in the winter and especially when we feel something yucky coming on. Vitamin D needs K2. Interestingly, also something that we don't hear very often from practitioners, but if you're taking vitamin D, you have to take K2 with it. And these are the ones that I take. This is just a really generic brand. K2 is a little bit expensive. This is 100 micrograms. So the rule of thumb that we use for vitamin D and K2 ratio is 1,000 milligrams to every 10 micrograms. So this is 100. If you want, you can split it up and you can take a smaller bit. Nobody's going to be taking 10,000 international units of vitamin D. We usually take between 3,000 and 5,000. I just pop this whole thing. I don't bother breaking it up, but if you want to, you totally can do that. The dosing for vitamin D, generally, I mean, you can get your blood levels checked. Just do the blood work. This is one of the rare blood tests that our doctors actually approve up here. So take advantage of that. See where you're at. If you're really low, maybe you'll need 5,000 international units. Again, the ratio to vitamin D to K is 1,000 to 10. So for every 1,000, you're going to take about 10 units of K. So vitamin D isn't a supplement that typically requires titration. If you want to do that to be on the safe side, you definitely can. But I don't recall ever hearing anyone having issues with starting at 3,000 international units of vitamin D. So it'd probably be a good place to start. This is getting a little bit longer than I anticipated. So moving right along, the last one is vitamin C. Almost every one of my clients has been low in vitamin C. There's various reasons for that. But what it really boils down to is that we're just not getting the nutrients from our food like we used to. It is what it is. We're super lucky that we have access to supplements. We take them with gratitude. We start nurturing our own soil, growing our own food as much as we can, and we just don't stress about it, right? We just do what we can. And so vitamin B is best taken in whole food form. That's what I have right here. Please ditch the ascorbic acid, especially if you've never done a copper zinc test. Vitamin C can contribute to oxalates, so we want to take it in its most natural form. Oxalates are something that I'm going to go over in a separate video. It's kind of long, it's in depth, but yeah, vitamin C is something that will contribute to it. So I buy this one. It's called Camu Camu. You can also get one that's acerola berry. You can get it in capsules or powder, totally up to your preference. Again, not many people have issues with trying to titrate vitamin C unless you have interstitial cystitis. I don't really even need to tell you anything about that. You're going to know if you have interstitial cystitis that this bothers you. So you have to be really, really careful. You still need it. You just have to be careful. So that's it. There's a ton of other basic nutrients that I recommend for my clients. NAC, 5-HTP, a good B complex. But those are done after we've done the testing so that we know which form is right for you. You never want to do more harm than good. We always err on the side of caution when it comes to anything that we recommend. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below. I would love to answer them for you. As always, I'd also love to have you join us over in my Facebook group for chats about all the things related to root cause healing of body, mind, and spirit. Thanks so much for joining today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.